Up, guys? Doing the, I guess, impromptu live stream live from the Ram. This is the office for now. So I just got out of the gym. I didn't get a chance to upload a video last few days. I've just been going crazy trying to locate a house and a property, and I'll get into that and more on tonight's live stream. And then also we'll chop it up with you guys, see if you guys have any automotive related topics or questions you want to bring up. I'll do my best to answer them. And then at the same time, I got some news for you guys as well. So like I said, I didn't schedule this live, but we will just jump into it, see who joins, and go from there. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already, but she's here, boys. So let me know everything's coming through clearly in the chat, and then we'll kick this thing off. So if you guys saw this setup, it's it's a pretty random setup. I've got like a Gorilla Grip. I think it's called Gorilla Grip. No, Ram mount. Suction cupped to my 8.4 U-Connect in this Ram, holding the phone so that we can kick it off live. So it looks like some people are joined in here, and we'll get started. So and I'll get into, you know, the whole house and property thing in this live, and also some other cool stuff too that I'm considering as well. So Ben says, what is going on today? Lots is going on, man. I am just, my eyeballs hurt from staring at a computer screen and my phone screen trying to locate this property. So, and it's definitely not for lack of trying. I'm just being a little bit picky on the situation because I want to make sure that this next setup is. So yes, I could go out and just buy a house right off the market and, you know, just do that, but I'm really trying to be very picky on the whole situation. So that's, you know, like, that's the thing, is I could very well go in and buy a house and, you know, we could turn it into what we want to. Like, I could buy a house with a 2-car garage, but I don't want to be like, I just want to get straight back to work, straight back into the builds, you know, going to the track and all that stuff. I don't really want to just jump right into having to take on like building a workshop project on the next property. So that's what I'm trying to do, but it's just very difficult. Eric says, what's up, big dog? What's up, Eric? Sean, how's it going? Pretty good, man. I'm good. Back healthy and all that nonsense. Just trying to find this house, which we'll talk about more in a bit. Eric says, strong stream. All right, cool. Yeah, it's a little bit like, it looks a little bit like fuzzy, but it's just the lighting in here. But I promise we got the latest and greatest phone, so should be at least decent. Part of the problem is like the camera, if you guys, whatever. The camera on the back side of the phone is better, but then I can't see your comments, so you guys would just hear me blabbing, which I'd rather be more engaging with you guys and seeing your comments. But, you know, downside of that is the front-facing camera on the phone is always going to be a lesser quality, so it is what it is. What's good, man? Sounds good on my end. All right, perfect. John says, what's up, bro? What's up, John? How you feeling? I'm good, man. Like, health-wise, I'm back. Yeah, I guess one thing I didn't mention to you guys, though, is I know, like, there's, like, a lot of people that lose their senses for a while. For one meal, I swear I didn't taste it. I had a, what the heck was it? A Chick-fil-A Southwest salad. It's like a chicken salad, and it's supposed to be like some whatever Southwest spicy salad. It just tasted like, all I could taste were like the really like pungent taste, like salt and like pepper, and like, but I didn't actually taste any flavor. So I was like, oh, that's kind of when I was like, all right, maybe I do have something. And then I also like I was so congested that I couldn't smell anything anyways. But even now, like, unless it's like a super strong smell, my sense of smell hasn't like fully returned for whatever reason. Like I said, if it's something really strong smelling and it's close to my nose, I can smell it. But just like that's the other problem too, you guys will laugh at, is I have to bring I had to bring my sister with me to a home that I went to look at, because if I walk into a house and it like has like an odor, like, you guys know, like those like strange smells, whether it smells like a house smells like old people, or it smells like, you know, dogs or cats or animals or stuff, like I can't smell it. So I have to bring somebody with me just for their nose to make sure that the house doesn't stink, which is so stupid, but whatever. Like I said, it'll come back, I'm assuming, but it's just, unless it's super strong near my face, I can't smell it. But whatever. At least I'm kicking and alive and well. Are you buying another vehicle, bro? Yeah, so if you guys, we'll get into that as well. So I guess you asked the question, so we'll jump onto that topic. So if you guys don't or didn't see like my post, I am considering, if you guys, well, let's just back up for a second. So my buddy Kyle with Gauge Performance, if you guys didn't see that video where my hellcat broke at the track, and also you just reminded me of another topic, but anyways, stay on focus here. When my hellcat transmission broke at the track, my buddy Kyle was running passes, and he let me drive his truck. So if you guys recall that video when I went down the drag strip in somebody else's single cab Ram, that was his truck. So he is, I guess, getting a little bit bored of that truck. Plus he's got some priorities he wants to take care of. I'll let him discuss his personal matters, but he's looking to get out of that truck. If you guys don't know that truck, it's a naturally aspirated 5.7 1500 single cab, and it's fully like track prepped. Where is he at now? Like 10.5 seconds, maybe 10.4. I can't remember his exact number, but the truck is fast. So, and there's no tricks, no games. If I get the truck, I'll show you guys. There's no spray, no boost, no hidden anything on it. He's just got that thing so dialed that he's running 10.5 seconds. There's a lot of weight reduction, so that obviously is helping. He's got a fuel cell in it. But as far as the builds, don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure, he might burn me on this for not knowing the exact build on his truck, but I'm pretty sure it's stock short block. So everything from, the pistons and the block down is still stock, like the rotating assembly. And then he's got heads on it, 392 intake, race intake on it, like, a snorkel on it. And I think that's most of it. I think he's got some stuff maybe going on with the pulley on the front, like maybe like ATI pulley or something like that on the front. And then just a bunch of weight reduction. He's been playing, like, that guy probably has gone through more converters than anybody I know in the Ram community. He is constantly testing even different companies, whether it's like Circle D or Paramount. He's like going back and forth, getting different stall converters for his truck. So it's got a converter in it, still got the 8-speed, the HP70 in it, 15-inch rear conversion on it, like I said, fuel cell. And I mean, that's pretty much it. Skinnies in the front, slicks in the back. I think that's most of it. Oh, he has, what do you call them? Oh, I guess they're fiberglass doors. I was going to call them poly, but fiberglass doors, Lexan side windows, Lexan windshield, Lexan rear window. And that should be most of it. I think he's got like a Kirky race seat in it. But anyways, that's the truck. He's looking to move on from it. And as I told you guys before, I'm looking to get into a single cab Ram at some point. His happened to pop up, and it's not like I know everybody's always like, oh, built not bought type thing, but at the same time, he would work out a really good deal with me personally, since we're like obviously friends. So he would be giving me the truck for a really good deal, in my opinion. Like, we're not going to BS each other. He told me like how much money he spent on it. He's like, dude, even if you bought this truck and you want a hellcat swap it later, if you sell a lot of the parts that are on this truck, like, you'll be ahead essentially. And he's not BSing me, because obviously I know my stuff as well, but I think it would be kind of cool. And where I'm at with it is, if I can get this stupid house situation finally locked down and get that out of the way and done with, then as long as he still has the truck, I'll try to work something out with him and probably get it. And the idea behind that is, if I get that truck, it's already fully race prepped. He's already, got it all dialed in. I could literally take that truck and go to the track and just keep continuing on from where he's left off, if I buy it off him. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Like I said, he's setting a bunch of records naturally aspirated, so we could take that. And I'm sure he's going to advise me. It's not like we're just not going to stop talking after that. I'm sure he's going to advise me on what he thinks to make the truck go faster, and I can try to do that, and follow in his footsteps. And at the same time too, he was talking about putting some spray on it, like actually, since everybody seems to think he's running spray, but we were talking about actually putting spray on it and then seeing how much faster we can go. If we were to add spray to his current setup, the way it is now, that truck will be deep into the 9s. So it should run mid-9s on spray with everything he's got right now. So I think that would be pretty cool. Take that truck into the 9s with some spray, and then, hopefully everything stays together. But because at least I could part it out afterwards if we decide to, and ultimately decide to put the Hellcat engine in it. But I think that would be pretty cool, little avenue to go to, or go through at least. It would get us back to the track almost instantly, and then we could just start going fast. The truck's already sorted out, ready to go, and we could just start going to some events. So comment down below what you guys think of those, that scenario. And like I said, ultimately, Once we go have some fun with the 5.7 and all that stuff, more than likely we'll yank the 5.7. Hopefully it's still, you know, we don't hurt it with spray or something like that, and it's still all good. Recoup some money from the 5.7 stuff, and then put the Hellcat motor in it and really see what we can do. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I think it would be a pretty cool little thing, but let me know down below. Maybe I'll make a separate video on it, which I probably should, since I felt like I didn't have a whole lot of exciting content to upload for this week, but maybe I can make a more formal video out of that, show you guys exactly the truck. You know, with the live stream, I can't really show you the truck per se because I don't have my laptop on this, but I could probably make a formal video. Like I said, show you guys exactly the setup, show you guys, you know, his latest ETs and all that stuff, and go that way. So let me know in the comments, but either way, I'll make a video. Actually, it's probably a good subject to talk about. And like I said, you guys already know me. Like, I don't blow smoke. If I'm tell you guys here on the channel, whether it's live or an actual video, I don't usually just blab away. Like, if I'm gonna actually do something or I'm seriously considering it, I'll mention it. But if I'm not considering it, or I'm not even thinking about it, or it's probably not gonna happen, I won't even tease you guys with some nonsense. So that's one thing that I think most people that have been with the channel for a while can hold me accountable to. Let's see. So that answers that question. And also I do want to talk about the transmission in the Dakota and the vibration issues. That's another interesting topic as well. Bermuda Grass says, congrats, you're close to 100K. Thank you, brother. How are you going to celebrate the moment? Honestly, I just want to get back to work. That's how my 100K celebration is pretty much going to be, and this is the plan, is to me be in the new shop, getting back to the grinds, having everything situated. I think that's going to be my gift to me and a gift back to you guys, is we're going to be expanding and taking this thing to the next level, because as you guys know, the last place with the 3-car garage, we were just at capacity there. So like I said, that's why I'm being so picky. It's really hard to find a decent house that has a shop. Like, hate to say it, but a lot of these houses that have massive shops, the house is just like absolutely garbage, and vice versa. And yes, I could build a shop, I get that aspect of it, but I'm trying to find something that's decent that I can just move into and get back to work, get back to the stuff that everybody wants to see. Like, kind of not to hate on another channel, but like a lot of you guys probably follow Goon Squad, you know, the 2 twins, or I don't think they're twins, but 2 brothers out of Tennessee or whatever. Like, I stopped watching, you know, whatever, it's my own opinion, but I stopped watching their stuff when they started doing all these shop builds and all that stuff. I was more into their, you know, vehicle rebuild stuff. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but they started like building shops and new houses and all that stuff. And like, I feel like personally, if I wanted to watch that stuff, I would go turn on like Home and Garden TV and just watch it there. But that's just my personal opinion. So I don't want to, like, you know, I guess if I do end up ultimately having to build a workshop, it won't be the end of the world, but I want to at least have the ability to work while the workshop is being built, if that makes sense. I don't want to like limit myself and be stuck in like a 2-car garage and I can't operate and we can't work on some of our projects. So like I said, just being very picky. There's like a badass, and I'm all over the place. I'm in Florida right now. I'm looking in Florida, I'm looking in Texas, I'm looking in Arizona. I honestly don't care where it ends up being at this point. One of those 3 states is fine by me, as long as it fits the criteria that I'm talking about. Like, you guys figure I'm in the Ram right now. We've got the Hellcat. So we got the Ram, got the Hellcat, I've got the Viper, and I got the SRT-10 truck. So I got 4 vehicles right off the bat that I need to, you know, be able to park somewhere. I don't necessarily care so much if the Ram gets parked outside, but I at least need the other 3 to be stored indoors before I even think about workspace, right? So I need bare minimum 3-car garage, which is what we moved out of, plus working space. And it's hard to find. Like, you can find a house that has a 3-car garage, but most of them don't have like a shop on it. So, and I don't necessarily, the problem is if I start getting too far out of the city, then we run into issues with internet, and a lot of these, there's not services with internet, so I don't have high-speed internet to be able to do YouTube. It's just like, it's a mission. But I found a house that's in Arizona. It checks off so many boxes, you guys. It's got a pool, it's got a ton of storage, it comes with a vacant lot next door to it. There's 2 questionable things. There's like a little stretch, maybe a couple 100 feet, where it's gravel to get to the paved road. Not the end of the world. Preferably all paved, but whatever. Second problem is I don't think it has high-speed internet service to it. I think it's like satellite or something like that, so I don't know how reliable the internet's going to be. Third thing is, for whatever stupid reasons, just my luck in this house, is it's beside 2 cell phone towers, which I'm not like a conspiracy theorist, but apparently 5G towers give off a ton of radiation, which is like not healthy to live right next door to. It's like literally across the street, so just sucks. I'm supposed to actually do a virtual showing for that house in Arizona tomorrow, but it has those things going against it, so I'm still actively looking, but I'm still gonna at least check it out, see if it makes sense, or you know, what they're willing to take for it. But ultimately I don't want to live long term next to cell phone towers, you know, cooking my brain or something like that. So like I said, I'm not like conspiracy theory, but at the same time I would hate to like be, you know, 5 years down the road and then find out I was, you know, I have some sort of health issue from living next to this thing. Because you guys got to remember, I'm living and working in the same space. Not like I leave for 8 hours a day to go to work and come back. I'm literally going to be there almost 24/7. So like I said, not just, I swear there's like always something. But let me get back to you guys here in the comments. Yeah, so celebration for 100K, like I said, give back to you guys. We're going to get back to more builds, more projects, and more space to do it. So like I said, anything that I generate from the channel is going right back into it, and we're expanding. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully you guys are too, and it's all thanks to you guys and your support. Preston says Fridays are back to normal. Boosted Fridays. I can't wait to see you around DFW. We just moved down from Colorado today. Nice. Yeah, I'm like, not to be a big baby, but I'm kind of just hiding from DFW right now because of that cold front that was through there. Because I still have the Viper quarter panel and stuff, and I'd like to get over there as well, get to the garage. So my priority right now as far as scheduling and stuff, just so you guys can know what to expect, I'm still trying to locate the house, wherever that might be. Once I get that nailed down, like I said, wherever the house may end up being, once I get that nailed down and, you know, inspections and the deals going through on the home or property, from there I'm gonna go to Dallas. I'll be in DFW, and you know, while the deal is going through, because it's gonna take like 30 days to close the house, we'll go back to DFW, whether we end up moving to Texas or not. Be in DFW working on the vehicles as well, go to some car shows, take them out, do all the fun stuff, put the quarter panel on the Viper, and yeah, just get back to the vehicles that you guys you know, signed up to this channel for. We'll get back to those as well. LR says, I think that single cab is glorious but already built. I enjoy watching your builds from scratch, turning something stock into your creation. It's great to follow and seeing your hard work. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, the whole built not bought thing definitely applies. But like, this is my buddy, he built the truck, and I just think like, there's not like I'm gonna just take this truck and just leave it absolutely the way it is. Not to say that he didn't, you know, build it correctly or whatever the case is, but I'm just saying, like, it's not gonna take it and just leave it alone and just drive it and, you know, claim that it's all my doing, right? So I want to take it. He's already taken it, you know, so far, and then I'm gonna take it and we're gonna push it even further. So that's kind of the idea. That's what he would do if he still keeps the truck or kept the truck, and that's what I'm gonna do with the truck. So he's already built it so far, invested a lot of time and money to get it to where it's at, and I'm just gonna do the same thing from that starting point. It's just kind of fast forwarding the process. So I'm getting it. It's not like it's not still a Ram truck, right? Like, it's still, there's not anything that's too crazy done to it, but at the same time, he's spent the last several years getting it to where it's at, and so I can just expedite the whole process and go from there forward and just make it even faster. He's already at 10.5 or so. We can bring it into the 9s, and, you know, maybe then some, with spending, you know, not as much effort as he spent to get it to where it is, if that makes sense. So that's where I'm at with that. We're still gonna have our own builds going and stuff like that, and there's still some other stuff I want to do too. So regardless, and I mean, the whole Hellcat thing and doing that whole swap on it's going to be a lot of content as well. I really want to get back to the track with something competitive. If I have something that's, you know, already ready to go, we can go to drag week, all that kind of cool stuff too. Just lots of opportunity. One other interesting thing, you guys, like I said, I don't really care at this point what state I end up in, you know, whether it's Florida, Texas, Arizona. But one interesting thing about Arizona is, for whatever reason, don't ask me why, but to bid on Copart auctions, if you guys don't know what that is, like, that's the website and the auctions, the online auto auctions that everybody goes to. All the big YouTubers use it. You know, Copart, they go on there and find, you know, salvage vehicles or wrecked vehicles, and they buy them on there, right? What is that strange noise? Oh. They go on there and buy them. For whatever reason, in Arizona, you don't need a broker to bid, which is a huge advantage, actually. Anywhere else, you would have to either go through a broker or you have to go and get your dealer's license to bid on these cars. Whereas for some reason, if you're an Arizona resident, you can go on Copart and just bid, which is awesome. You'd have to put down, like, I think they require putting down 10%. So if you're spending like 40 grand, you have to deposit like $4,000. But I'd rather do that with Copart rather than a third-party broker and then them charge all sorts of fees and extra fees. It would just be straight to Copart. So kind of a cool perk, because I would like to, if I can do that and I can easily buy off of Copart, I think it would be cool to buy a 2500 Cummins, you know, wrecked or needing something, buy it off of Copart, get it, and then that would be our next tow vehicle as well. So just another cool little perk of that. Let's see, would be cool to have just a drag truck for a bit, and then for a bit, just even till you get your stuff together. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, my priority is definitely trying to sort out this property thing, so I don't want to get like distracted from that, but it'd be something we could tinker with. I don't want to, I want to make sure I get the house stuff sorted out, at least a deal underway before I move forward with that. So, but definitely worth discussing and seeing if you guys are interested in before I do anything. What will be the best way to make 600 horsepower on my Ram RT 5.7? Probably some boost. Oh, on all motor, you're kind of shooting for the sky on a 5.7. You're going to spend way more money trying to do that naturally aspirated, unless unless you spray it. But if you're trying to stay naturally aspirated, which it sounds like you are with all motor, you're going to spend a lot of money. You're going to have to do heads, intake manifolds, cam, but you're going to be hard pressed to add 200 horsepower to that thing just doing some bolt-ons. So, I don't know that. Now you got me wondering whether anybody's actually hit 600 on a 5.7 naturally aspirated. But yeah, that's a tall order to add 200 horsepower naturally aspirated without going broke. But I would either boost it or spray it if you're dead set on going, having 600 horsepower. Did you get the place? No, not yet. So probably already answered your question, but still on the hunt. I have a few that I'm interested in. I'm supposed to do a virtual showing tomorrow, but it's every place that I find, there's like something that just like nail in the coffin kind of kills the whole deal for me. It just, I don't know, it is what it is. I'm staying optimistic as possible, but there's always something. Kilner says, I'm looking at maybe buying a 73 Dodge Dart Sport. It only has the 318 in it, but what's your thoughts? Smash or pass? Oh, I mean, if you're getting a good deal on it, why not, right? I mean, the older vehicles, as long as it's not all rusted out and stuff, like, you're not going to lose money if you get it for a half decent price, right? So, I mean, depends what your plans are too. If you're trying to go fast, you can always, there's all sorts of options as far as engines you can drop in it. And there's a ton of aftermarket offerings for those older chassis as well too. So I think, and as well, I think Hooker Blackheart also offers Gen 3 hemi swap for those older Dodges as well. Don't quote me on that, but if they don't already have it, they're probably working on it, because I know they're making all sorts of swap kits for everything right now too. So it might be another option if you don't want to stay with the old school stuff as well. Or, I mean, even if there isn't that offering, you could probably weld up your own brackets and throw a Gen 3 hemi in. It would be cool. Darren says, hey John, good to see you. Miss you doing all the good stuff in a shop. I know, man. Like, I'm like operating out of a truck. I mean, I could have just as easily pulled the trigger on any old property, but like I said, I'm just holding out for something epic. So yeah, I could have just grabbed anything that came on the market that had a tiny little shop on it, even the one that I showed you. By the way, if I haven't already said it, the one that I took you guys and showed you guys, the one that had like the donkeys and stuff, or the pig or whatever out back, that one, the owners or the listing agents, they're just out to lunch, honestly. House has been sitting there for several weeks now. They're not getting what their asking price is. They're not even responding to offers of any kind. Like, they think that they have some sort of $1 million house or something of that nature. So, and the more I thought about it, I'm not going to overpay for something just to get into something. That house, I think I told you guys somewhere, maybe it was one of the live streams, I took a tape measure afterwards. I went for a second viewing of that property. It was less than 18 feet deep, so there's no way I would be able to fit my Ram. Even the SRT10 wouldn't fit in there. I think my Dakota is like 17 feet deep, so that means my single cab Dakota would be like pretty much up against the wall and up against the garage door. And I think the Viper is like 16 and some change in length as well. So like it would be jammed in that 2-car garage. Then I would have to put the SRT10 in the shop. And it was a 24 by 30 foot shop, I think, something like that. And then we were only left with one bay after all that. So if I go get this truck from Kyle, I'm at capacity all over again. So it's just to spend, and as far as price, they wanted like $620,000 for this house. Just it's way too much. So like I said, fortunately I had to pass on that one, and I'm just waiting to see what else I can find. Let's see. Chad says, let's see. Chad says, if you can get satellite internet, it isn't worth it. Not only is it slow, but they don't provide unlimited data. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's Caps. Yeah, the company that I looked up that apparently is there, or the service that they currently have, you can get like unlimited, but the problem is, not to go deep dive into a technical thing, the problem is downloading is fine. So if you're watching, TV, whether it's Netflix or whatever, you're downloading into your home. When I'm doing right now, like where I'm going live stream, I'm uploading. So a lot of people and a lot of carriers, they only care or show you what the download speed is. But in order for me to be able to live stream, I have to have a good upload speed. The other thing I need a good upload speed for is being able to upload videos without having to wait like 5 hours. So when we get back into the bigger builds where we're like, 30 minutes, 40 minutes per episode, those files are huge. So I need a good upload speed to be able to upload that without taking like, a day to upload the whole thing. So sirens. So just some consideration, like I said, this whole YouTube thing, it's absolutely crucial that I have good internet. Some people wouldn't care, right? They would just be like, oh, whatever, as long as I can watch Netflix, I'm good. But like, unfortunately, the requirements is a little bit higher for what we're doing. Let's see. I'm going to chat with a few people, see if I can find a place you can call home. All right, appreciate it, man. That would be cool too. I'm all down for some help if you guys see something cool. Stefan says, hi, John. What's up? Alonzo, Stuart, Florida in the house. What up, man? I be seeing you in the hood. I know, right? No, right now, I'm in Coral Springs. So I guess, actually, some people might deem that as the hood. We're in the nicer part. Well, my sister's in the nicer part of Coral Springs, but that's where I'm at right now. Sean says that Hemi Swap Dakota is sweet. Thank you, sir. Yeah, well, since you brought up the Hemi Swap Dakota, let's jump to that subject. So, if you're new to the channel, you probably know we obviously put that thing together. We had not brand new. The whole swap only had 12,000 miles on it. The transmission, the engine, all that nonsense. Put it all together, drove it around, seemed fine. We took it to the track. Even before we took it to the track, it had a vibration on the upper end. Took it to the 8th mile, and in the first pass I started to feel pretty violent vibration towards the end, but I was like pretty much at the traps, hindsight 2020 type thing. Should have let out of it, didn't. Stayed on it for honestly like maybe half a second more to a second more, and then just catastrophic failure. Vibration was so brutal that it just took the transmission, snapped it in half. You guys can check out those videos if you haven't already, and I show you guys exactly all the teardown, exactly what happens. Maybe not necessarily why it happened, but I show you all that damage. But interestingly enough, afterwards we were thinking, okay, maybe it was a transmission, something was bent in the transmission from the wrecked vehicle we pulled it from. Okay, fair. Put another used transmission in there, but this one wasn't from a wreck. It was from like a vandalized car, so it didn't sustain any impact. And still had a similar vibration, which was why I ultimately had to pull the plug on going to Roadkill Nights, which was That beat me up because I really wanted to be there, which is another reason why if we had another race truck, we could actually go to these events, but let's put that aside. Anyways, my friend Jason, if you guys haven't seen his truck, we did a review actually of his truck on here. He's got a single cab 4th gen Ram. I think he has a BGE block in it, and he has a huge single turbo on it. Anyways, he put a HP 90 in his truck, which is the Hellcat transmission that I was running. Well, he's deep into the nines, and last weekend, yeah, I guess not this weekend, but last weekend, he ended up absolutely grenading his transmission in the exact same fashion as mine. He had a vibration towards the end of the drag strip and felt the vibration, didn't let out of it the same way I did, and his exploded. Even though he was at the track with me when mine blew up, he said instantly he was just thinking about what he said to me to let out of it if you feel anything, and we both did the same thing. So we were both talking about that. We both had similar setup, similar adapters, and we were both trying to come up with solutions. I think I was talking to him. I think I have an idea of what I might want to try, but I guess the reason why I'm telling you this is because it's not me necessarily that is the only one having the issue. He went through all his driveline angles, and his truck is 4-linked. It's not even factory 4-linked anymore. He's got his own Ford 9-inch in the rear, or Moser 9-inch, whatever. And he's got all beefed up, 4-link arms in the back, and he still grenaded his transmission the same way I did. So it's not my drive shaft, it's not my transmission, it's just a problem with the setup that we're running. What else can I tell you about that? I'm gonna try to work on some stuff once I get some garage space. I have some ideas that I'm going to try, and it's gonna be an idea that I haven't seen anybody else try, so it should be interesting. I'll try to do some R&D on that, see if I can get that dialed in. But when everybody keeps asking why I have not gone back to the racetrack with the Hellcat, that is the reason, is because I haven't figured out the vibration yet, and there's other people that are trying to figure out the same problem, and they haven't figured it out either. So in the community, we haven't came up with a bulletproof solution just yet that doesn't, lead to a catastrophic failure. And those transmissions are anything but cheap. So luckily we had a subscriber, huge shout out to him for hooking us up with an HP 90. So I have one more, which I was going to put in a Ram project, but I don't even want to use that transmission honestly until I get that sorted out, until everyone else gets it sorted out, because the current solution with using the adapters that are available out there leads to having this happen. So I want to I'll save that one for now. I would rather put the Hellcat engine, hook it up to an HP 70 and burn out the 70 than I would grenade another 90, because you can get an HP 70 for $1,000 or less now because they're so common, but the 90s are still easily $3,000 used. So yeah, I just want to update you guys on that. That's the vibration. I don't know. I'm still going to send my drive shaft out, my whole assembly, to try to see. Like I said, I talked to somebody at PRI that's going to double check the balance on it, but it doesn't seem that it's that. So just want to update you guys on that situation. So again, going back to, that's why I want to get another project that we can go to the track with, so that I can get back to the track while I try to R&D the vibration on the Dakota and try to figure out why it's doing it and eliminate it before. There's no point in going to the track and grenading $3,500 transmission plus whatever else breaks in the process. It's just be stupid and dangerous at the same time. Plus everybody will hate you at the track because you're spewing transmission fluid all over the track. So it's just it's not a good situation no matter what. Okay, let's get back to you guys here. Let's see, Ethan. Okay, it's Brian. Oh, does it say Ethan? Oh, yeah, Brian. Okay, never mind. Brian again, up in Canada. What kind of charger did you put on that 360? So that was a Pro Charger kit. There is, I believe, Torque Storm makes a kit for the Dakota. I would try to go that route, honestly, because I don't even know that. I think Pro Charger still offers that kit, but I would try to go with Torque Storm because they have a newer, their kit is newer for the 360, so I think it's more updated than the old school Pro Charger kit that we use, because I was battling with like belt tension, all that stuff. So Kilner says, don't settle, bro. Wait till your dream house pops up. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, but like, I'm not the type of person to sit idle. I feel like it's already been way too long. So for me to like continue to sit here and like just wait for the perfect house or property to show up, like it's just beating me up. Like even like if I find something today, most of them are gonna, I'm ready to close on the house in 2 weeks or as fast as I can get the funding for it. But most people are going to want like 30 to 45 days to close on a property. So I got to wait. Even if I've got something today, it's going to take another 30 days from now. That's why I'm just like, like I want to figure something out like now or next few days and get this over with. But yeah, just another consideration. One more random consideration, not to sound like, I don't even want to say it actually. I'm going to change my mind. Down here, there's like, I haven't fully figured it out, but at least in Florida, again, I grew up in Canada, so we're used to getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. California, I could be working late at night with the garage open, so I had airflow, and I wasn't getting eaten alive by bugs. Over here, it's like hit or miss. You could be one place, and you could be out all night, and be hanging out outside, and you're fine. Or you could be somewhere else. That house that I went to that was near, it was actually near Palm Beach Raceway that I went to, that racetrack. It was like 10 minutes from there. And after we were hanging out with the agent, like when it was just getting dark outside, we were out there talking to the agent for probably like 1 minute. And me and my sister were getting eaten alive. Even the agent was getting eaten alive. Like we were sitting here dancing, talking, and even like mosquitoes followed us into the car and like they were biting us on our legs. And we had to like open the windows driving down the street just to dump the mosquitoes out of the car. Versus when I was at Palm Beach Raceway, which is only like 10-15 minutes from that house, I was out until like 10 o'clock at night, and everybody was, and nobody was getting eaten alive. So I don't know, it's one nice thing about going towards the West Coast, not necessarily back to California, but at least in Arizona, there's not like as many bugs for whatever reason. So I don't know, just another factor, I guess. Another consideration if we're always outside working in the garage, so I'm just not getting eaten alive. Let's see. What's up, John? Mike says, Northeast Ohio in the house. What up? I'm a Dodge guy. Loves the Dakota build. Thank you, sir. We should be getting back to all the craziness pretty soon too. Still working from home type of thing. Not sure what your questions in regards to, but yeah, like right now I don't have a home, so I'm working from my truck. But yeah, that's the plan. Like I said, once we get the next place, I guess that's maybe what you mean, versus if I'm gonna get like a shop and then have a separate house or combine the two. Right now I kind of like them combined. I'm not working on anybody else's vehicles, just my own personal stuff, so I can operate that legally from my own house. And at the same time too, if I get a separate shop, I just feel like I'd be running back and forth the whole time. Plus your utilities are going to be double. I'm going to have to have internet in both places, electricity bills, all that kind of stuff. And when we start getting into the thick of some of these builds where we're ordering a ton of parts, it's so much nicer to have everything in one place. Like I can only just foresee the headache of having that. If I have a house and I have a shop and it's like, okay, do I send the parts to my house so that I can, get them there, or do I send them out to the shop, and the timing? And I can just foresee like me working at a shop and then the part gets delivered at my house and I have to drive back to my house to get the parts that we need, or vice versa. I deliver the parts to the shop, they get delayed, whatever have you, the delivery shows up at 9 p.m. I'm at home, I gotta drive all the way back to the shop to get some parts that were left on my doorstep at the shop, otherwise they might get stolen. Like that whole thing just seems like a headache. I would rather have my house and my workshop at one address. Everything can get delivered there so that we can work on these projects, and I don't have to run around like a chicken trying to chase my parts with the UPS man type thing. So like I said, I'm pretty good at thinking ahead of different stuff, and I'm just sure that would drive me absolutely mental, which you guys could probably agree with. Let's see. Let's get to some of these questions. You guys are live in the chat tonight. Good morning from Korea. Dang, good morning. Korea's in the house. Alfonso says, nah, just kidding. Good to see you in Florida. I seen you post your video of cars and coffee, West Palm Beach. I'm like 25 minutes away. Yeah, that was a pretty cool event. I gotta see, I think it's the first, what is it, the first Sunday of every week, or Saturday, or sorry, of every month. So I'm not sure. The next one's probably a few weeks away, but I'd like to go to that event if I'm still out here. It's pretty cool. Martin said, "I wish you check out Charlotte, Mooresville, North Carolina." Like I was when we went up to Gear Effects, that was in Mooresville, so pretty cool area. But like I said, I'm trying to stay in the South. It's just, I don't know. Everybody's got their personal preference. I'm not gonna knock people that live, you know, in North Carolina or live in, you know, north. Like some people like colder weather, some people like hotter weather, some people like, you know, moderate temperature. It's all personal preference. Everybody's, you know, got their take on it. Me personally, I like being in the South. I would rather be sweating than freezing. I'd rather see, like I said, I would rather be sweating than dealing with snow and ice and sleet and sub freezing temperatures. That's just, like I said. But some people would rather be cold. They'd rather have a winter, you know, they'd rather not be sweating. So it's just whatever. Martin says, oh, I already answered. Martin, Ben, if it were possible, once things get sorted out with the house and shop and builds back in progress, would you ever consider doing like a hellcat show off or tour in Canada when time allows for it? The problem with going back to Canada is like just when you think this whole, you know, oh, hold on a second. Let me just make sure my lights are going to turn off my truck here. Just when you think everything might be starting to return back to normal, you know, I don't even want to say the words because this video will probably get flagged with the way YouTube works, but you know, a new version of you know, sickness comes out and they just crank down all the lockdowns and all that stuff. So as far as, like I said, going back to Canada, like even for me to go back to visit family, as tough as this is to say, I can't even go back to visit family without potentially some rule or law changing while I'm there and me being stuck there. So it just sucks because even, like I said, right now would be the perfect time to go spend time with family. If I go back to Canada right now to, you know, go visit family, technically speaking, this is the level of insanity. Technically speaking, I have to go across the border. I have to download, even before I get to the border, I'm supposed to download an app on my phone that tracks me and has all of my medical records on it. And I'm supposed to quarantine for 14 days, I believe. And I don't know if all this has changed, but this is just the general. Supposed to quarantine in place for 14 days. And if you don't, apparently they do send people out to the address that you specify on this tracking app to make sure that you have not moved. If you violate all this, you can face like up to a $10,000 fine or something stupid. So it's just dumb. Like even if I went to go visit family, I technically couldn't even visit all my family because I would have to go, you know, stay with one relative, you know, whichever relative I stay with, and I can't go and visit anybody for 14 days. So it's just the most stupid thing. So I am avoiding that place at all costs right now. It just doesn't make sense. I don't want to get stuck over there. And yeah, just the level of insanity these days is crazy. I mean, like I said, not to get too crazy about the topic, but if you think about it, every year a new version of the flu comes out, and here we are. Last year was a version of the flu. This year, here we go, we got a new version of the flu. Every year a new flu comes out. It's no different than in history. Every year a different version of flu would come out. So to take it to these extremes like we are, it's just lunacy at this point. So that's yeah, so Ben, I don't think I'm gonna be coming back there anytime soon. Just with what I just mentioned, unfortunately. So Darren, I guess that probably answers your question as well. Like I said, I got too much going on over here to be trapped up there. Are you going to get another 2-post lift in your new home? Yes, sir. So for sure, we're going to get another 2-post lift. It's going to be absolutely essential. And maybe even, and ultimately, probably a 4-post as well. So that'd be kind of cool to document that. I'm excited about all that. Get a 4-post lift so we can store things, store vehicles. And sometimes 4-post lifts are just nicer for other things. Like if you got to do an oil change, or just, you know, simple stuff, 4-post is kind of nice. Just drive up, everything has access to it. Whereas a 2-post, you got to like look for jacking points and all that. 4-post, you just drive up on the ramps, hit the button and go up. So oil changes, excuse me, and stuff like that are a lot nicer on 4-post. Martin says, I must update things. Yes, but it's a great area for non-rust parts. shipping, weather, and women. For sure. Hello from Canada. Love the builds. Thank you, sir. Smash that thumbs up. I agree. If you guys haven't already and you're in here, hit the thumbs up. It kind of shares these videos with other people, and it's the best way to support the channel. So definitely don't forget to smash the thumbs up. Darren says, have you considered running a wanted house and shop property? Oh, like an ad? Add in areas you'd like to have. Maybe that'd help you. Honestly, with today's day and age, I feel like that would just attract like a bunch of spam. Because it's like, I'm so reluctant to like fill out my phone number and stuff like that. Like even just when they ran my credit for the mortgage, my phone was blowing up with all these spam calls asking me if I wanted to refinance my home that I don't own. It's kind of brutal. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking all over. I'm actively looking. So better part of my day right now is like my eyeballs physically hurt because I'm literally just looking at my laptop all day, just scrolling, dragging the map around, trying to find something that I can call on. So I'm literally on the computer all day. Like my eyes are sore from staring at that stupid thing. So trust me, I want to get it done. I need to get it done. I have a feeling it's gonna, like, once I see the ideal property, I have a feeling like it's gonna click and be like, okay, that's the one, because I just haven't gotten that feeling on any of these just yet. And even like whatever we end up getting, like it's not like I'm trying to be emotionally attached to it. I just want to foresee and I can envision that it's going to work for us for at least the next 3 to 5 years before I'm going to have to, build or, move to the next spot. So I've got an idea in my head, I want to have it so that we can have a bunch of projects on the go. If I see a cool project, if I see a good investment, whether it's a vehicle, I can get it, store it, flip it, make money for, more projects. Like, I just have that idea in my head, so I want to be able to fit like at least 10 cars or so that I can store stuff. If I see a good, like the Viper engine, like those are crazy good deals. So I want to have the space to be able to store some of the stuff and do stuff like that. So that's what I have envisioned in my head, somewhere you can live without it being a shack. And I can also have enough storage and room that we can, we're not limited with our projects. What Shorty headers would you recommend on a 2016 Ram 1500? It really depends what your goals are. I actually do have a set. I have a set of Hooker Blackheart Shorty headers, which apparently make almost just as much power as like your tubular Shorties, but they are like a million times easier to install because you don't have to deal with trying to get the bolts in and around the runners. Check those out though. Hooker Blackheart does sell Shorty headers for the Ram 1500, and I think you might even be able to, if you're in one of those areas, you might even be able to run the heat shields on them too. So I would check those out. Like I said, I have a set of them. I just we ended up having the Ram 1500 with the hemi in it, and we ended up moving on from that truck, and now we're in the Eco Diesel. So I don't have anything I can install them on for you, but I do have a set of those that I would like to eventually put on something. Jess says, about your Eco Diesel, what are your true thoughts? Do you plan to keep it for a long time? Any emissions issues? Have a 2015 and it's been in the shop for 7 times. Oh, it's been in the shop what? It's been in the shop 7 times over 6 months. Worth keeping. I wish, I don't know how to say this without saying it. As you guys know, we bought a brand new Eco Diesel engine, put it in the truck. I've been issue free on this thing, so knock on wood. But with that being said, I love it. I mean, it's not a rocket ship. You're not buying this truck to go, go line up with somebody at your next stoplight or something like that. But it's not, how do I say this? I may have done some stuff to this truck without saying it. I'll just say it that way. So if you guys can interpret that, a lot of the problems are fixed on this one. So I'll just say it that way. There's certain videos that you can and can't make on YouTube, but I'll say it to you that way. So a lot of the problems that are associated with these trucks has been corrected. But I mean, with that being said, all the emission stuff is still intact and all that, but I don't, like, how do I say it? I don't know. It's been good for me. So I still have, you know, everything's still here, but it doesn't use, you know, I haven't had any issues with like tons of like DEF consumption or anything like that. But there's certain things that I can and can't say on YouTube, so I'm not going to recommend anything, but I saw the issues that were, you know, supposedly on these trucks, and I went ahead and just resolved it. So like I said, unfortunately, I can't really be vocal about it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyways, it's corrected. But even with that stuff, I still change the oil every 5,000 miles. So at least this one I went a little bit over, but I change it with Rotella synthetic. But this thing has been flawless. Has a bit more power than stock, so it's a little bit more fun, and it's got better throttle response too, which is nice. So like I said, can't say what I did, but, or you know, what somebody did this thing, I don't know, but pretty sure you guys know. So with that being said, yeah, it's been a pretty good truck. And from before, like just as an example, from before, from me making the trip to Vegas and back, which I think it's like a 3-hour drive. So I think, oh, the guy's ripping on that scooter. I think it was like 500 miles on a brand new motor. When I went to Vegas and back, you guys probably know, if you've ever owned a diesel, like the oil usually goes pitch black. Brand new motor, crystal clear oil, Vegas and back. We'll say it was like maybe 500 miles. I don't even think it was that much. The oil was like pitch black on a brand spanking new motor. After somebody might have done something, between oil changes, it's like the oil is still clean. So a lot of the issues that are associated with the EcoDiesel it's a lot to do with the way it's set up, I guess, initially. Because apparently, if you guys don't know, like the oil change intervals are really long, and people will try to run that oil change interval, and with the way it's set up from the factory, the most common failure on these things is main bearings. So it'll chew through the main bearings. So when you get all that soot and stuff in the oil, it just goes through and just kills the main bearings. But if you might do something, your oil actually stays way cleaner. So that was part of the interesting part. But like I said, this thing has been flawless for me so far, knock on wood. But with all that being said, I still don't know how much I trust it, just because of all the issues everybody's having. But I've been clocking up on this thing, and she's been great. So hopefully you guys can read between the lines with me telling you guys that stuff. But you know, drop a comment if you guys want. But like I said, I just can't be too vocal about that stuff, because I'm not trying to get in any trouble with anything, that's all. Let's see. Who's the next question? Alonzo says, I'm out, brother. Keep on your grind. Live by the sun. Thank you, sir. I agree. Live by the sun. That's a good one. 96, Dodge Viper Hearst Special Edition did not sell. Highest bid, $225. That's still a lot of money, though. 96 GTS went for $135 with $5K. That's crazy. I mean, just to think, like, in my head, when I bought my Viper, everybody just, like, crapped on the Viper. They did not care about Vipers. And then now to see, like, the cost of, or price of Vipers just going to the moon. It's cool. It's cool to be, like, one of the early believers, or, like, you know, just to get in early and then see all this insanity happen. North Carolina is newer. I think he said newer. Oh, never sub freezer. It's just 3 days in January and a week in February. Mild heat, brother. NASCAR Mecca. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not doing NASCAR either, so I don't know there would be any benefit to me being in NASCAR Mecca, but I get what you're saying. Like, that's almost how I feel about, like, Texas. Like, it doesn't get crazy cold there, but it's just, there is some cold to be had. Kind of the same way I feel about North Carolina. Mecum auction here in Orlando. Nice. Who was it that said? No, you guys I get so many messages, and unfortunately sometimes I get so distracted with just work and just life. Somebody actually said that they had a pass to go to Mecum, I think this weekend. If I wanted to go with them, they would give me a Mecum pass. Who the heck was it? I see stuff sometimes in between YouTube and Instagram and Facebook messages and just everywhere that, you know, even emails, the messages can come through. It's just, I get sometimes hard to keep track of, but I know somebody did say, hey, I have an extra Mecum pass if you want to come. Would have been cool, maybe. Darren says, wow, don't risk coming to Canada, bro. It's way too cold to get stuck here. I know, right? Minus 27, feeling minus 37. Yeah, I don't plan to, unfortunately. Hate to say it hate to say it, but it is what it is, right? It's all good, not worth, yeah, crossing the board. Yeah, exactly. Ben says, I totally understand the current situation up here in Canada. I was more or less thinking long term further down the road. Yeah, I mean, I would, you know, it's hard to, honestly, if you had asked me 2 years ago if I wasn't going to be, you know, coming to Canada 2 years from now, I would have thought everything would have been gone and past. But I mean, here we are over 2 years later with this nonsense and everything still, you know, lockdown, no lockdown. So, yeah, it's hard to see in the future with this. So I just know that being down here, everything's more open, which it should be. But Jess says full delete. No. Sean says H. Don't know what you mean. James, what if you had a video of cloning your hard drive for your PC, seeking which software to use? I don't know what you mean. Is that something? Is that like code language for the EcoDiesel thing or something else? But yeah, let me know what you're referring to. If you're talking about actual PC stuff, ironically, that's why I'm just laughing, because I actually have a second channel called The Garage where I just random stuff that I have to do just for whatever. Like, obviously, I have to be somewhat of a computer nerd to be able to run all this YouTube stuff. So I had to clone a hard drive for PC, and I've also had to clone hard drives for Mac, and I put that on my second channel. So that's why I'm just laughing if you're actually talking about that or you're trying to talk covertly. That was me, VIP passes. Oh, okay. Never got a response. Excellent time. Auction was awesome. Yeah, sorry, man. Like, honestly, it's just, I get so many messages, and I remember seeing it. I just get, like I said, just with so much going on, my head's in the clouds right now. But I appreciate that, man. Maybe I'll have to take you up on that offer maybe next time you go down. But like I said, I remember seeing it somewhere, and then just as you said about the Mecum auction, that would have been cool to go to. I would have been down to go with you. Rude Mopar dude. Hey man, boosted a TRX to about 17 psi and melted a piston 9,700 miles. Ouch. I wonder what's I mean, it's not so much about the miles, just more about the tune and, you know, how much heat that thing's producing. So I'm not sure what the cooling systems are like as far as the supercharger cooler on the TRX. I'd be interested to look into that, but I don't think 17 psi is overly high for one of those, but you might have to, not sure. Like I said, I haven't started tuning the Hellcat stuff. That's what I'd like to get into next. I mean, we just got so much nonsense on the go, but it'd be nice to see, you know, how much we can actually start tuning that stuff and dig into that a little bit more. Rob says, when you're in Atlanta, come by the house to shoot some guns and help me build my 408 in the backyard. Sounds fun. I think, Rob, weren't you in Florida before? I thought. James, yes. What channel was it again? It's called The Garage. So if you just type in, the easiest way to find that channel, I can't link it here. I could normally, if I was on my computer doing this live stream, I could link stuff for you. But if you type in The Garage and then Lorex, you'll see like my cameras, my security cameras that I had on my old house. That's probably the easiest way to find me. So The Garage and then Lorex, Lorex. You'll see my camera video pop up, and then you can check out all the other videos. I got a bunch of like little tech videos and stuff on that one. Going to a forged 411 and Magnuson 3-liter. Nice. Yeah, interchiller. That's what I was gonna say too. Like, what cooling system? Because probably what happened is you upped the boost. I'm gonna guess you were still like 91, which isn't the most, you know, reliable fuel, unfortunately. And then if you were like doing a bunch of pulls back to back, or maybe it was super hot out and you get into it, it'll detonate and do what you saw. So at least with the inner chiller, you'll be able to control your intake air temperatures and like send them to stupid low temperatures. So, but I think we're at about an hour, you guys. So I moved to Georgia last February. Nice. The garage link. Yeah, Daniel, I don't know if you posted the garage link. Unfortunately, like, I don't do it, and everybody always gets so mad at me saying, you blocked my link. You know, you're deleting comments. I don't delete comments unless they're really stupid, but for the most part, I don't even have to touch the comments. But for whatever reason, YouTube will block. Like, if somebody tries to post a link, I don't know, it's not my decision, but if somebody tries to post a link in YouTube comments, it usually deletes them automatically. I don't even have any control over it. But it looks like Daniel might have tried to post a link, but it doesn't look like it showed up, at least for me. So let me know if you guys have any other questions. And then if there's no other questions, we might wrap it up. But let me know. I'll give you guys a couple seconds or minutes here. If someone can post a link, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I don't think you can, unfortunately. Oh, look at that. We can do live stream filters. Dang, look at this. What? That's pretty lame. This is YouTube features. While you guys come up with some comments, I'll see what you can do on here. That's kind of cool. I don't even know if it's changing for you guys. Anyways, I'll turn that junk off. Let's see. Are you available to help me with a Viper purchase? Let me know what you mean. I guess probably get a, I don't know if you've already tried, and I apologize if you have tried and didn't get a response. But yeah, probably I can definitely help. And like I said, I'm up to my eyeballs right now and just trying to figure out this house thing. But definitely send me an email or whatever your preferred, you know, method of sending me a message, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or email. Get a hold of me. Like I said, unfortunately, most of the times that I have, you know, time to assist people is usually why I do these like live chats, because not to sound like, you know, not to sound like I'm bragging, but like I just get pounded with so many people asking me questions, you know, from all those different social media platforms on a daily basis. But time is money. I mean, if if you're willing to, you know, pay for my time, I have no problem, you know, offering that service to you. That's fine. So I mean, get a hold of me however you'd wish, and we can work something out. Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool too. And I mean, if you're cool with it too, if I can film that process, that'd be kind of fun. I mean, either way, you don't have to, but it'd be kind of fun to kind of film, if you're talking about going to check out a Viper, like film the car, you know, see what it is or it isn't, and go from there. But yeah, I'm down. Send me an email if you, I'm sure you have my contacts. If you don't, I can let you know what they are. I think I can actually type my contact here. So here, I can't even comment on my own damn video. Look at this. It won't even let me. That's funny. Let's see. Yeah, interesting. I can't even comment on this video with this live streaming from your phone. So, but yeah, hit me up if you want my email. Do you have a, I guess I'll ask you here since I don't have any way of dropping my email here. Do you have my email? Or let me know if you want to message me on Facebook or Instagram, however you prefer. If not, I'll verbally tell you my email. It's not a secret. Let's see. I've got some other comments in here too. James is laughing at those stupid bubbles. The bubble filter that was on here. Rob says, talk to you later. Later, Rob. Darren says, any car events you're going to next, when and where? I haven't seen any on the map, but at the same time, I've just had my head stuck into this home search. You know, way more than I'd like, but that's just where my head's been at, is just 100% home search right now. I do have, I guess I'll ask you guys that are, you know, the diehard boosted fans over here. I have another set of rear rotors and pads showing up tomorrow. I think everything should be showing up tomorrow for the Ram. I've made like 2 different videos of changing the brakes on these trucks. What is that strange noise? But I've made like 2 different videos of changing the brakes on this truck. So I don't think it would make sense to make another one, but I could show you guys, I guess, the condition of the ones I'm putting on. the Z36 heavy duty pads on the back with new rotors, because I changed the fronts. I thought it was the fronts that were warped, because when I was towing the trailer and I came down a big mountain, and I had to, like, you know, slow down to not, you know, go too fast. At the end of that hill, like, my truck was vibrating whenever you're braking. So I thought it was the fronts, because that's usually the most common ones to warp, but it appears that the rear is actually warped, because I changed the front rotors and I still have that brake shake. So changing out the rears. I guess I'll probably document some version of it, but I just think going through step-by-step tutorial probably isn't most helpful. If I had all my tools, I would actually like to put a mic on it and like a gauge, like a depth gauge, and actually show and find out how warped they are and show a way of checking it. But I don't have all my tools with me, so I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and change them. But let's see. Let's see what's next. Ben says, is there a problem with tuning the eco diesels? I'm not familiar with any of those rules around diesels and EPA. Yeah, it's just they're hot onto, you know, people that are doing that kind of stuff. So as far as people offering those services and all that, so it's just something that I just stray from. So that's the case with that stuff. Fine with filming and all is cool. Thank you. Sounds good, man. No, I can find you on Instagram. Yeah, find me on Instagram, or my email is fairly straightforward, whatever you prefer. It's boosted motorsports, no spaces, 88@gmail. So fairly straightforward on that. Again, boosted motorsports, no spaces, 88@gmail. There's no info on all the other channels on your page here. Yeah, I guess I probably should pin them. I think there's a way that I can, like, share those channels. I'll try to do that, actually. That's a good idea. So I know what you're saying, James. I think there's, like, an option to, like, you know, highlight other people's channels, which in my case are my other two channels. So I'll probably do that as well. What does that say? Vun Rent? I don't know what that is. Do you still have the plug on them throttle bodies? I do. It's just, unfortunately, with everything, with me not being in one spot, I haven't had a chance to get some done, but I'll try to get some done, you know, once I get situated, for sure. I'd be down to see a video of brake changing. Sounds good. And whatever else you got to show, for sure. Yeah, I got a few things on the go. If you guys don't know, one of my factory LED taillights burnt out, and I'm still trying to decide what I want to do with that. Get another factory LED taillight. It shows that my taillight's burnt out and only some of the LEDs are burnt. So I haven't decided whether to go aftermarket or just get another factory LED taillight. But the problem with going aftermarket is the harness is different, and most people sell LED taillights for halogen equipped Rams. You know, halogen equipped Ram taillights, which is a totally different harness, so you can't really, like, interchange the two. So, because there's some pretty cool, like, OLED taillights for these trucks, but unfortunately the harness is made for the halogen version trucks, not the higher ends LED taillights. But we'll see. Stuart, what's up? Put a straighter valve on a brake fluid reservoir and show how easy it is to bleed the brakes with a portable air compressor attached. Did that at the track last weekend. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I get that you did it, but it does not sound fun. I'm already dreading, like, changing my brakes at my sister's house in the driveway without barely any tools. I don't even honestly know if I'll have the tools to get that done. I'm gonna try. I think you need, like, on the rear, I can't remember the sizes. I think you need at least a 19 or a 21 mil in the rear to get the brake bracket off, and I don't even know if I have that with me. So it should be a good time. Should be a good time showing how to do a brake job with limited tools. Like, I don't even have jack stands or nothing. It's gonna be a good one. I don't know. Maybe I'll just show it just for fun. We'll see. Stuart, I saw you ran some pretty good times last weekend as well. You gotten to witness the destruction of Jason's Hellcat transmission as well. And then we also, Stuart, if you haven't seen earlier in this video, we talked about Kyle's truck and the possibility of working something out with Kyle to maybe buy his truck and get it on the channel as well, which would be cool. Darren says, how's those front pads you put on? Honestly, it's way better. Like those front pads that I put on, the Z36 power stop, there's not that much information on, you know, which ones are the better. Everybody says, you know, run power stop pads and it's less brake dust, which is true, but there's not any people that really compare the two. So the Z36, they bite way harder, so you don't have to put as much pressure on your pedal to get like good stopping action, versus when I was running I'm gonna forget the other name of the other ones. I think they're 23 or something like that. Z23, I can't remember exactly, don't quote me on that. I know it's in my video, but I had the other pads, and you had to put a lot more pressure on the pedal to get, you know, adequate braking. So I'm kind of excited to put the 36 on the back, so that means I'm gonna have, you know, a lot more bite on all four corners, and then also you get a lot less brake dust, which is cool. Let's see, brake fluid is the worst. I know. Let me see. Boosted Fools, how's things been going, buddy? Pretty good. Like I said, I'm in good health, good spirits, all that stuff. It's just trying to get this house and property thing ironed out. So that's my mission, that's my goal, is to find something that's suitable, that's not like, the other thing too is like not trying to overspend on the property and the house to a certain extent, because I don't want to be like house broke or house poor and then I can't spend money on future projects. So I'm trying to find something that's like a half decent you know, a half decent bargain or deal. And I know right now it's hard to find a good deal, but something that's not like overpriced, I should say, that I still can afford to, you know, continue our projects without being house poor. Hopefully the house hunting goes well. I'm sure you'll find the right place soon. Take care for the rest of the night. And till the next stream. Thank you, sir. We'll see you on the next one, Ben. I got lucky buying the house last February. Yeah, last February was definitely a lot better time than right now. Brake fluid is worse. I hate that crap, honestly. Brake fluid and gear oil, I think, are my two. I think if I had to pick, it'd be gear oil is the worst, brake fluid, and then I think coolant or antifreeze would be a close third as far as automotive fluids that I do not like. 50 acres of basically parkland. Damn. Creeks, streams, pond. You got a lot of property there. Saw what you replied about Kyle's truck earlier. Just hopped on like 10 to 15 minutes ago. That would be cool and exciting. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, you know, obviously Kyle knows what he's doing. He's got that truck set up awesome. I think it would be cool, because if Kyle sells that truck to somebody else, more than likely they're probably just going to run it the way it is and just run it into the ground, and then the truck might, you know, fall off the map. But if I were to continue on from all the hard work that Kyle's put in it, I would take, you know, and Kyle would still be involved in the picture too. So I could take what Kyle's spent the last several years building up to, and, you know, he would still obviously stay involved. I'm sure he would like to be involved, and we could push it and see where we push it to. So I don't know. I think it'd be fun. He's already got it set up, so it would just be fun to take his setup and keep going with it and see what happens, versus somebody else that's just going to run it the way it is and just, I don't know, probably not run it as fast as Kyle, or, you know, might end up blowing up and then we just never hear about the truck again. So I don't know. I think it'd be cool. So I just got to get this house thing sorted out. And once I get the house thing sorted out, then I can get more serious about having that discussion with Kyle and see what we can work out as far as the vehicle. Rob says, been so busy, haven't worked on my RT Dakota in months. Yeah, I bet, man. This, like, moving isn't fun. That was me, sent the email out. Talk to you later. Sounds good, man. But yeah, I've been on, we think we've been live for over an hour or so. So I'm gonna call it a wrap on this one, you guys. Like I said, I got some brake job to do on the truck, so I'll probably post that, or a few other things as well. I'll probably do a more formal video on Kyle's truck. Either way, I'll probably show you guys his passes and record-setting passes that he's done on it, and then also talk about maybe getting that truck off him. So hope everyone has a great Friday, great weekend, and I'll see you guys